Hello there, it's Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's card making video, I'm going to be doing a few techniques that elevate card making. I'd like to say I'm going to be doing some altering to some things and even a little bit of doodling, which can be a little scary, but we're going to keep it simple, and I think these are things you're going to want to do too. I am playing with stamps and paper from the Not Too Shabby box of the month for February 2024, and this is the Boho Rainbow stamp set that comes in the box. The box actually comes with 3 stamp sets, 2 pads of 6x6 paper, and 2 packs of ephemera, and I'm going to link all that for you below. I also have a video, 2 other videos using stuff from this box, so I'll link those for you also. And here you can see I'm just stamping out those rainbows with different colors of ink. Using my MISTI makes it really easy to do. There is a coordinating die set for these stamp sets, the 3 stamp sets, but they're sold separately, and they don't cut out the rainbow like once you stamp it. It cuts out a few individual bows of the rainbow, the sentiments, the clouds, the hearts. So I cut out my rainbow that I made and the clouds, and then I am bringing in the Spring is in the Air stamp set because I feel like the style of this stamp set from Not Too Shabby goes really good with the 3 stamp sets in the box of the month. So I wanted this little bunny. I'm going to color it up with Copic markers, and you can watch me do the whole thing. I am starting with T2 as my darkest color. I like to go in with my darkest color first. Some people like to reverse that and start with their lightest. So just do what works for you, what you're most comfortable with. And then I'm bringing in my midtone, which is T1, and I'm creating a larger area that's colored in each time I bring in another marker, my lightest color being T0. And then I'm using some R20 for his nose, cheeks, ears, and even the tail. I went pink. I just thought it was cute. And I just like the gray and the pink together for a bunny. It's probably my favorite way to color a bunny. All right, I did yellow boots, but didn't record that part. Sorry, they're very small. And you can do, you know, just 2 shades on that area. Like I'm doing here on the center of the umbrella, just coloring the outer edge darker and then bringing the highlight into the center because this is kind of a rounded image. My lightest color here is B000. And then for the outer 2 sections, I'm going green. So G07 as my darkest color. This one's pretty dark, so I'm not making it as big. And then I'm going to have a pretty light highlight color, I'll call it, which is G12. And then I'm going to do the same exact thing on the other side. So just 2 colors on my umbrella, but you could do 3. That would be really fun too. And then I added just a touch of a darker shade in B04 on the handle of the umbrella to give it a little bit more of a shadow. And there he is. It is so cute. I am going to bring in my white gel pen and add a few white highlights here and there. I like to use some lines and some little dots, and there you can see what it looks like up close. And I did cut this out with scissors. There's a lot of fussy cutting in today's video, but I'm okay with that. So now I am taking a piece of pattern paper that's from this box and that same Boho Rainbow stamp set. I'm using maple yellow, and I'm stamping some brighter yellow hearts on the lines of this patterned paper because I have bright yellow in my rainbow. So I really wanted to, like, you know, I don't know, spice it up a little bit with some bright yellow. So I did 2 on each side. Now my card's going to have a strip down the middle, so I didn't need to stamp that part. And actually I really only needed to do 2 rows of hearts on each side, but you know, you're never sure. So you got to just kind of be safe. All right, then I wanted to add a little dusting of color on the edge. So I got a lighter color of ink, which is fresh lemon, and a small little blending brush, and I'm just dusting around the edge there, and that's going to help draw your eye into the center of this. And I just like the look. It'll dry back a little bit lighter. I think it's really pretty. It's from the Tweet paper pad, which you can buy all these things separate and not get the whole box. And then the other strip I'm using is from the second paper pad, and it's called Sweet Little Bird. And I wanted to give the center of this the look of rain. So I brought in my Perfect Pearls, just white, and I mixed it with water and then splattered it onto this little panel. And then I like to use a scraggly little brush and drag the paint off the side. It gives you a fine mist of that splatter. So good. Now, I thought I was just gonna do the perfect pearls, but then I decided I wanted a little blue on there as well. And I still had a little perfect pearls in there. So when I mix it together, it got a little shimmer too, which was perfect. So I splattered that on, and then I need to set that aside to dry. Now, here is where the doodling is gonna come in. I already did the altering by stamping on my pattern paper, and now I'm going to draw a little cloud around my sentiment. This is just a fine tip black lining pen. It's nothing special. Like, I literally bought a pack of these off Amazon. I probably couldn't even link it for you. And I just drew the cloud like that. And then of course I'm gonna have to fussy cut this. And one thing about fussy cutting is you want to find scissors that you like, that are comfortable for you, that are a good quality, and the cutting is going to be a little bit easier. And I always turn the paper with my left hand while I hold the scissors with my right, and that works well for me. It's not perfect, but I mean, you probably can't even tell. All right, so now on to doodling. I really wanted a little puddle for my bunny to stand in, so I just drew one. And then I thought some raindrops would be really cute. So these are really simple shapes to draw, and I could be my own worst critic about those raindrops, you know, but I don't think that anyone else will like really notice or care. I think that in the end, once I just kept going, I colored them, I cut them out. I think in the end, I actually really love them. And you know, there's a reason why I stamp and not just draw all my own things. So this is a stretch for me, but I just wanted to encourage you, if you have an idea, you know, maybe you don't have a stamp set that already has a puddle in it or raindrops. They're really easy things to draw. Give it a try. Maybe you're new to stamping and you don't have all the stamp sets, you know, that's okay. All right, so I am bringing in the So Tweet set. I'm going to alter this image right here, stamping it out in black. What I really want is that circle in the center. So I thought, oh, you know, I could draw a circle and make a sun. I wasn't as confident about drawing a circle. So I thought of this set. This is another set in the box of the month, and it had a little face. Like, that's perfect for a sun, right? So I stamped the face, and then I brought in my Copic markers and I'm coloring it out. I know it looks a little weird, like it's upside down, the heart, what? But I'm gonna cut all of that away, so it's not gonna matter. So here you can see the yellows that I'm using for the sun. They're the same yellows I used on the little rain boots on the bunny. So I'm sorry I didn't get those on the screen the first time, but you can see them here. I left a little white space under the eyes for some pink cheeks with my R20 marker. And then I'm going to cut around the circle. I'm cutting away that scallop part. I don't want it for my sun. The bottom I don't really need. I'm going to tuck it behind my rainbow. So I'm going to trace this on a second piece of paper because I thought he looked a little naked. And I thought he needed some, like, you know, rays coming out. So this was my idea. I'm going to take a heart from that same set, the Boho Rainbow. It's the bigger of the hearts, not the one I stamped on the background. I stamped it just to kind of get a feel for the color and how it looked, and decided I'm going to go for it. So I'm going to stamp the point of the rainbow on my pencil line. I'm going to go all the way around, not the bottom, because I'm going to, you know, not need the bottom. And I'm going to lay the sun on here, and those are going to be like the rays of the sun. And I wasn't sure how it was going to look, but I cut it out. I laid the sun on there, and I thought, it's pretty cute. So I have altered the stamped images to fit what I wanted and make this really super cute sun. I mean, you tell me what you think. Imagine it's behind the rainbow. Yeah, it's cute, right? I don't know. You tell me what you think in the comments below. So I erased my pencil line so I was sure that it wouldn't show, and glued my sun down. And now we're going to put all the things together. So that pattern paper strip with the rain splatter on it, I mounted to a turquoise panel that's 1/4 of an inch bigger on each side. So the middle panel, I believe, was 2 1/4. The outer panel is 2 1/2. And then the whole thing is 5 1/2 inches long. I glued down my puddle. I added my little bunny. I'm in love with that puddle. I'm like so proud of myself. And then the sun is going to go at the tip top. And I kind of just had to lay things and scoot things and make sure it got where it needed to go. Now, the sun is going to stick up past the top of this card a little bit. It's just the way it has to be. I decided. Might be a card that has to go in a little larger envelope, or one that I hand deliver, or in like a clear envelope. Those work really well. I'm adding my Sending Positive Vibes cloud at the bottom of the rainbow and some clouds from that stamp set. And then I realized like it's really crowded. So I actually peeled off that sentiment and scooted it up a little higher on the rainbow. And the whole thing I put down with some foam squares. And then it's time to add my little fat raindrops. And see, once I stuck them on there, I was much happier with how they turned out. And 5 was like the perfect number. And then I'm just going to use my tools to pick them up, stick them down. They're cute. And the scene came together so perfectly. I actually love how the rainbows popped up and the bunnies kind of like coming out from under the cloud. I think it's really fun. So let me know what you think about these altering techniques, altering your patterned paper, altering your stamped images, and adding a touch of doodling to your cards. Would you give it a try? You got to tell me. Okay, so to help the sentiment stand out a little bit, I just did a little bit of my B000 around that cloud, being careful not to go over the black line. All right, so my patterned paper, I could just mount, you know, my strip onto that, but I'm going to turn it into a full panel shaker. In order to do that, I am putting some rip and stick tape around 3 sides, the 2 long sides and the bottom. I have this pouch here that's a full A2 size panel from Trinity stamps. And then I'm going to do my adhesive in a very specific way. I want to close down the outer 2 edges. And by the way, I did go ahead and pre-fold those edges so that it was easier to do once I actually got my paper in there. Once I've stuck the 2 sides down, I do the bottom, and then I really like to crease them with my crease tool. I'm using some Splish Splash Confetti. They're iridescent raindrops that are flat, also from Trinity, and I like to use a little tray to put them in because if I got too much, I can easily pour it back in. If I need more, I can add more. It's just a way that helps me control it a little bit more, so that's what you see there. And it pours in there much nicer with that little spout. All right, now it's time to close it up. So now I'm going to put the adhesive across the top, and I did pre-fold that top piece down first, again, so it's easier. Run over it with my crease tool, and there's my shaker. So very cute. All right, for the top piece, I added some rip and stick tape and liquid glue because I'm sticking this down to plastic. So I want it to stick right away, but also the glue is going to help it stick like long term. So I'm putting that in the center, kind of using my grid mat to make sure it's centered up pretty good. And I could not be more happy with this card. I love it. All right, now when I stick this down to my card base, I like to use the rip and stick tape again around those edges because a full panel shaker is going to like puff up a little bit, kind of like a pillow. And so it's harder for the edges to get to the cardstock than it is for the middle. So I do a little X in the middle, and I'm also covering up those flaps to kind of sandwich them in between the adhesive, which helps keep them shut. I also use a little liquid glue for the same reasons I already mentioned, and then really just press that into place and let it dry there. All right, I decided it would be fun to add a little something on the inside. I had some scraps left over of the pattern paper, so I added that, and then I had stamped that second rainbow, or that other rainbow, added that, and then I did the Sky's the Limit, which is from the 3rd stamp set in this set, which is called Rainbow Notes. I used it in my last video and the first video. I made like a removable bookmark on a card that uses the chick that matches the bunny I used on the front of this card. Anyways, I will link both videos at the end of this video so you can check it out. One of them really shows the box items in depth. It's a subscription that you can subscribe to and get every month if you want. There's always like other things that you can get, like the dies. Sometimes they have like a freebie. It's just really fun. And they also have like a mini box of the month if you want something a little smaller, more, you know, budget friendly maybe. So check out the Not Too Shabby shop. I will have it linked for you in the description box below. It's a small owned company. Jamie, the owner, is fabulous. I love supporting her small business, and I'm sure you guys like that kind of thing too. So thank you so much for watching and stopping by. I appreciate it. I will have a new stamping video for you very soon. So if you're new here, feel free to subscribe, and I will see you then. Happy stamping. Bye.